Hey everybody, it's Mother Goose 27 and welcome back to my channel. So, recently I watched Back to the Future, the first one, for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. And I figured it was about time that I watched the second one. So, I finally watched Back to the Future Part 2. Like always, there'll be time codes in the description below if you guys want to jump around the video. Today, I'm going to be just giving a couple general thoughts. I'm going to talk about the story overall, and then I'm going to give my final thoughts. So I'm not going to be talking about the characters, the music, or the special effects today. If you want to hear my thoughts on those, you can check out my video on the first Back to the Future right here. Okay, so just in general, I really did love this movie a lot. Honestly, I think I liked it a lot more than the first one, if I'm being honest. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the first one. This one just felt like it was better produced, the story was more intriguing, and the stakes were much higher. And oh boy, did everything go wrong for Marty and Doc. Like, literally, this whole film was, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. But I really did like it. Let's just now jump in and talk about the actual story. So, the film is broken up into three pretty distinct parts. The film starts with Doc, Marty, and Jennifer all going to the future, where they're trying to save Marty and Jennifer's kids. I really like this part of the film. It was really interesting to see what Steven Spielberg thought the future would look like back in the 80s. Boy, was he wrong. Boy, was he wrong. Now, I do think most of the things they showed off, like using trash as fuel, Jaws 10, the hoverboards, all of that stuff was really cool. But the one thing that really got me stressed out was how expensive the prices were. Like, Doc gave Marty a 50 and said go buy a Pepsi. How expensive is soda? Why did they take Jennifer out of the car? I mean, I know technically they needed to, or else the rest of the story wouldn't have happened, but it was just dumb. Like, they had no reason to take Jennifer out of the car. They could have just left her in the DeLorean, and literally the second 2/3 of the film would have never been a problem. I get it, it needed to happen, but it's also frustrating when you see characters, especially characters who are supposed to be intelligent, make stupid decisions. That was my only real complaint about it, and if they hadn't, we wouldn't have got the rest of the film. So I don't know how I feel about it. You tell me how I feel. The second part of the film is in the present, where Marty finds out that Biff had went back and changed time, and now he's a millionaire, and he killed his father and married his mom, and then tried to kill Marty. I thought this was really interesting. I feel like this was my favorite section of the film because everything just felt so dark. Like, not only did Biff become this millionaire, but it was almost like a pre-Mad Max world, if that makes sense. Like, we hadn't gotten to the nuclear fallout, the planet wasn't a desert yet, but there were still people riding around in cars, shooting at each other. I don't know if that makes sense, but I thought that was really interesting. Like, how much chaos has Biff caused in this world? Was it Biff who burned the school down? Was it Biff? I feel like the main reason I really liked it because it showed the consequences of time travel and how they're not just saying, okay, well, we can mess up the time stream. We actually get to see it happen and the consequences of it. Anyway, let's move on. The last part of the film, back to 1955. But I definitely like this section of the film. It was nice to actually go back to the main part of the first film, and I thought it was very well done. I honestly thought it was funny. Doc and Marty trying to avoid their past selves. And again, just so much went wrong. Literally so much went wrong. All the way to the ending, when Doc's DeLorean gets electrocuted and he gets sent back to 1885. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. I really like that there was a teaser for part 3, but I will say, I'm pretty sure it spoiled the ending. Because in the teaser, it shows Marty as a cowboy kissing Jennifer on the swing that they left her. I'm guessing they survive, and this is Marty going back to the future, and that's the end. He finds Jennifer, and they fall in love, and hopefully he doesn't break his hand and give up music. I don't know, it's not a big spoiler, and obviously, looking at it, you're like, oh yeah, of course, they're gonna make it back in the end, but I don't like being spoiled, okay? Don't judge me. Anyway, final thoughts time. Like I said, I like the second Back to the Future a lot more than the first one. And again, I really did enjoy the first one. I'm really excited to see the third one, but that'll probably be next month. Overall, I just feel like the movie was well produced. It was edited well, the directing was good, the dialogue was good, the acting was fantastic, the special effects, I didn't want to devote an entire section to the special effects, but I do feel like they were better in this film than they were in the first one. The cinematography was amazing. Just overall, this film was extremely well done. I can see why people view it as a classic. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to join the flock, and I will see you in the next one. Mother Goose out.